What is going on, guys? It's Mitch here, aka Royal Bacchus, and finally today, the slate of movies that are going to be released for James Gunn's DC universe has finally been revealed. I'm actually kind of surprised how many projects he's doing. I think it's 5 and 5. 5 TV shows, 5 movies. What we're going to do today is he dropped a little 6-minute video for us explaining all the projects that he's going to be doing. And there's also a little piece at the beginning that I find a little interesting because I don't really understand why some of these characters I think are sticking around. I'm not 100% sure. We'll get into everything, but before we do, if you want to drop a like, subscribe down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. Bringing you content every couple days of the week right now. And if you want to go to my Discord, Twitter, Instagram, it's all in the description down below. But let's stop talking about this and let's get into it.
Hey everybody, I'm James Gunn. I'm the co-CEO of DC Studios. So as many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time.
Yes, it has.
And it's one of, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works with...
And on top of this, everyone, just a heads up, I'm not a massive DC fan. I definitely know a lot more Marvel than I do DC. So some of these projects, I don't even know who these characters are, but there are some projects that I'm pretty pumped about. So
within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU continuity. Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Shazam!
See, this is where I want you guys to kind of pay attention here because I don't think he actually says throughout this that these characters are done, which is kind of interesting to me. It hasn't been confirmed. I might have missed it the first quick little watch that I had, but we'll keep going.
Has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love. Believe that they're keeping that resets the entire DC universe. Then to move into Blue Beetle.
So when you hear it there, Shazam, I think the only connection that Shazam ever had was when Superman came to the cafeteria at his high school. But obviously it wasn't Henry Cavill. Sadly, that's not who it's going to be. But that's the only connection I think off the top of my head that was in Shazam that connected it to anything other than just his movies. So really, in essence, they can do whatever we want with him. Flash, as you heard, it's going to be resetting. So whatever that means, I don't know if that resets him and we get a new Flash because after everything with Ezra Miller, don't need to get too much into it. Everyone already knows. But it's just interesting to me that the people that we got rid of compared to the people that we're keeping.
A fantastic film about a kid who's a marvelous part of the DCU and then into Aquaman 2, which leads directly into our next project, which I'm going to tell you about now. So Peter and I, along with a group of very talented...
And obviously you heard there, as I might have spoken over it, Aquaman's still around. So I really don't know, like he never said that this is going to be the end of this character, going to be at the end of that character. Let me know down in the comments down below if anyone else knows what's actually going on or if it's actually been confirmed that they are done or they are staying with the DC universe.
Writers have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and gaming. This first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Now this, what I'm about to tell you, is a part of the first chapter. It's not the entire first chapter. The first project is Creature Commandos.
See, before he even discusses what this is and whatnot, I feel like Werewolf by Night really got me into the monster side of things when it comes to comics and superheroes. I think James Gunn is going to do really well with this project, and he'll get more into it and stuff like that. But this is one that I didn't know that was happening, and this is probably the one that I'm excited for the most.
Creature Commandos is an animated series. I've written all the episodes. Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor play their voice as who plays them in life.
That's a really important part to me, is the fact that they're going to be using the voice actors that are going to be playing the characters.
Action. The next project up is Waller. This is a story of Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis.
So I'm guessing
Viola Davis
Peacemaker
is going to team up
gonna
with
be
members of Team Peacemaker.
part of the
and this is a story that's been
Gunn
created
universe?
by
Is that what we're
Crystal
calling it
Henry,
now?
who did Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who created the Doom Patrol. It is a fantastic story that's out of this world, and I can't wait for people to see it. Okay, next up is the big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me.
Not Henry Cavill.
I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it. And Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025.
So that means, I guess, technically, we have 2 years at least, minimum, that this DC universe is going to be starting. So to me, it just seems like there's projects kind of confusing me a little bit, where it's like this is the official start, but then you had the creatures or whatever that are coming in and everything beforehand. So I'm gonna stop talking.
Okay, the next thing is a big premiere HBO television series called Lanterns. This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, John Stewart and Hal Jordan, and we have a few other Lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based TV show, which is almost like True Detective, with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops watching over Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU. Next is a big movie called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm characters we are now bringing into the DCU, and will interact with all of our primary DCU characters. The Authority are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think it's a very different look at superheroes. We're doing a television series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is the story of Paradise Island, usually known as Themyscira, which is the birthplace of Wonder Woman. It's almost like Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all of the inhabitants of Paradise Island.
So you know Wonder Woman on that. So I'm guessing Paradise Island is the before? That's what I'm guessing, before Wonder Woman? But
introduction of the DCU's Batman.
She's not confirmed, I guess.
Is The Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold is the story of Batman and his actual son, Damian Wayne. This is based on Grant Morrison's great comic book run. Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin. He's a little assassin who Batman tries to get in line, and so this is the story of the two of them. So how far will Batman and the beginning of sort of the Bat family in the DCU. Next up is a TV series called Booster Gold. Booster Gold is one of comics' really popular cult heroes. He is a fascinating guy. He's a loser from the future who uses future technology to come back to present day and become a superhero so that people will love him. It is basically the superhero story of imposter syndrome.
James Gunn is excellent with stories with characters like that. One of my
favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film. Now, Superman is a guy who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents, whereas Supergirl in this story, she is a character who was raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way, so she's a much more jaded character. And that brings me to Swamp Thing, the last thing we're going to talk about. A very dark horror story.
I don't know if any of you guys have watched the actual TV show that was from 2019. I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was going to last. But the fact that, let me just go back because I spoke over that. I don't know if it's a TV show or... Very dark horror story in the origins of the monster who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can tell you about right now. So Swamp Thing is a movie.
I've loved the DC characters since I was a child. They're incredibly important to me. I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something.
Anyways, all right. So with everything, I think it actually sounds like pretty good lineup to start off with. So the movies, we got Superman Legacy, the Batman, the Brave and the Bold, Swamp Thing, The Authority. Once again, I don't really know much about The Authority. I can't really say much on it. And Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Then you got the TV shows, which is Waller, Lanterns, Creature, Commandos, Booster Gold. That's one I'm actually that's like my wild card right now, because James Gunn, in my opinion, always does well with kind of quirky characters like that. And you got Paradise Lost, which is the Wonder Woman prequel. Maybe they're setting some up there. Maybe this is like it'll bleed into maybe a Wonder Woman movie. I'm not 100% sure. So we got 10 projects today. It all sounds fine. The only thing that threw me off in his video was the beginning, with the whole thing about Flash, because he said Flash is going to be the reset of the DC universe. Does that mean he is coming with it afterwards? Is Aquaman coming afterwards? I have no idea. Shazam? I know these are, and Peacemaker obviously is going to be a part of something. Maybe he didn't announce that, or maybe it is dead. They never talked about that either. But there are a lot of projects that I'm kind of still confused on, right? With those three at the beginning. I understand the whole story of Flash being able to reset it all. I understand that 100%. But I really would like to know if those three beginning projects are either continuing or they're going to be something that is kind of kicked off after the DC universe kicks off. So, and I just really have my opinions on the fact of firing Henry Cavill and keeping Ezra Miller. Not going to get into that. But yeah, today, great projects that came out. I'm going to do some research on all of these because, like I said, I'm not a massive DC fan. And hopefully this actually starts making people get into DC. Like, Marvel, when it came out with, I would say 2010. I wouldn't say as soon as Iron Man came out. It was more or less when the superhero or the Marvel movement was starting. Comic books blew up with Marvel, right? Like that. Me, for example, Trevor, that I do Logical Heroes with, same thing. We moved with the movies when everyone got into comics. So it'll be really interesting to see if that all blows up as well when this starts. But yeah, but before I leave, guys, if you want to drop a like, subscribe down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. Bringing you content every couple days of the week. I'm trying to get to you guys. I also got Discord, Twitter, and Instagram in the links for you as well if you want to join those. And until next time, see you later.